25 years into life, and then you're like, oh, wait, I need to figure my life out. No. Trust me. Someone else's success is not your failure. Obviously saw the title of this video and you clicked on it because you want to become the highest version of yourself, or at least you want to start taking the steps to becoming the highest version of yourself. I'm young, I'm only 20 years old, and I'm still trying to figure my life out and still trying to get things together. So I figured, why not get things together with a group of like-minded individuals? And I'm assuming you are a like-minded individual, somebody who wants to become the highest version of yourself, and you're looking for somebody young like yourself to get your life together. So let's do this together. Guys, please bear with me. I'm still trying to figure out how to use this microphone. So if I scream in your ears, if you have AirPods, I'm sorry. I have watched multiple videos, done my own research, and asked a couple of old people that I know if they have life principles or life advice that they feel like every young person should know. I don't know a lot of old people, so most of this was just based off something I remember from a video. So if I don't credit somebody for something they said, I'm so sorry. It's just that I would have probably watched your video and I was like, I'm going to keep this. And then today I finally decided that I'm going to share it with you so that you don't go through this life with no life principles. Like, what are you doing? Here are some of the best life principles that you're going to receive this year that are going to put you in line of becoming the highest, greatest version of yourself. Let's jump straight into this video. Okay, the first life principle that I have for you, I'm not going to get too much into detail because it's self-explanatory. If you want, you can do your own research, but here are just a few life principles that I find really important and really helpful. So the first one is the let them theory. You cannot control what people do no matter how much you try. And this is something that mostly parents don't understand, that you cannot control your child. And it's a great example because parents think that they have this huge control over their child and they don't. Sometimes you say no, and if somebody really wants to do something, they end up doing it behind your back because you really don't have control over somebody else. Like every person has their free mind, and you really are not going to have control over somebody else. So the best and first principles to start off and to avoid disappointment in this life is the let them theory. Let people do what they want to do, let people say what they want to say. At the end of the day, the benefit out of this life principle is that you are going to walk away knowing somebody's true colors. They're never going to lie to you about what they're doing because you're letting them do what they want to do. So let people do them. And the second life principle, which is just as important as the first one, is to practice gratitude. Guys, be grateful. Comparison is the killer of all things beautiful. And I'm not only making this video for myself, I'm making this video for you as well. Okay? So I'm just going to go onto my phone. I'm sorry, I'm not making this video for you alone. I'm making this video for myself as well. Okay. And the third one, guys, please. This one is so important. Every single thing in this universe that has ever happened to you or that has ever happened to me happens for a reason. There is always a reason behind how things happen, when they happen, and who they happen to. There are so many things in this life that I think of that felt horrible, horrible when they were happening. And I look back now and I'm like, that makes so much sense. And if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have learned that lesson. I wouldn't have met this person, or I wouldn't think this way if this didn't happen. So I know sometimes you find yourself in this hole and you're like, why is this happening to me? I understand. And what I want you to carry from this video is that no matter what, everything happens for a reason. I'm sure if you can think of anything in your life in the past that had happened and you felt so horrible, and now you sit back and you're like, oh, wait, that's, for example, in relationships, sometimes things end with somebody and you feel devastated. You're like, I'm not gonna find somebody else. Like, this was the one. And then you meet somebody 6 months later or however long later, and you're like, oh wait, I'm actually in love. This person is just so much nicer than the previous person. So every single thing happens for a reason. Just trust the universe, trust God, and trust in whatever you trust in. And then this one is very debatable. Share your plans only when they are in action. So I spoke to somebody about this specific life principle, and he basically said to me, yes, that's true. However, sometimes when you speak out your plans to people that can maybe invest in your plans, it pushes you to making your plans a reality. So sometimes you can share your plans if they're not in action, but only to somebody that is going to feed into somebody that is going to help grow your plans. Don't just share it for the sake of sharing your plans. No, no, Pam. This video is for me as well. Don't share your plans for the sake of sharing your plans. Don't just share your plans because you're in a good mood. No, we are going to keep those plans to ourselves until they are in action. This one, let go of the past and move on. Stop beating yourself up about things that happened years ago. Let it go. Okay, what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna sit down. Sit. If you're laying on your bed, stand up. Sit down. Everything that hurts you till this day that has happened in the past, things that you can let go of, things that are, I don't know what you've gone through, so I don't want to be insensitive. But if you can find it in your heart to free your heart, you're not, if you don't want to forgive that person, but free your heart. You don't want to forgive them for what they did to you, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Just free your heart from that pain and anger. Just detach. Free your heart right now. Thank you. Let go of the past, forget it, and move on. Keep moving forward. Sometimes I find myself beating myself up over things that have happened in the past. Like, why did I say that? Why did I do this? Okay, who's it benefiting? What you say that in the past, and then now what are you going to change? What's going to happen? How are you going to go back and whisper in your ear and tell yourself like, oh Pam, actually don't do this, don't do this, it's bad, you're going to regret it? No, there's nothing you can do about the past, so move on. Forgive yourself, move on, and become better. I heard something, there's a guy that said worrying about your problem is like worshiping the problem. Let that sink in. This one is choose your friends wisely, especially the friends that you have in high school. Out of the entire high school, I walked away with one good friend. And that is from a very young age. Something about myself is I pick and choose who I'm going to hang out with specific intentions. I pick with intention. So choose your friends wisely. Don't talk to people just because they talk to you. Don't laugh with people just because they laugh with you. Where's my phone? It's about to die. So choose your friends wisely, because this is a whole, I can make a whole separate video about this. If you guys want me to make a separate video, just choose your friends wisely. That's all I'm gonna say, especially when you're in high school, because the type of mannerisms or habits that you pick up in high school, they can stick very easily for the rest of your life. Trust me. This one is controversial. Waking up earlier is always better. I am not a morning person. I'm going to say it like that. I am not a morning person. But I will admit, the times that I have woken up early, not talking about 5 a.m., the times that I have woken up early, I always enjoy the day a lot more. Like the day is long and the day is beautiful. If you wake up early, you get to experience a beautiful long day and you get to get things done. So waking up early, it's controversial, but it's always like if you can wake up nice and early, you're gonna enjoy your day. Trust me. That's controversial. If you want to argue, sure, do it in the comments. Thank you. This is similar to what I just said about the high school thing, and it's basically saying that the habits that you get in from 15 to 25 years old will probably stick with you for the rest of your life. So, the age of 15 to 25, this is my personal opinion, this is not scientifically proven or whatever, this is just how I think. From the age 15 to 25, whatever habits that you start to get into from 15 to 18, Usually your parents are the people deciding kind of what you do with your life. So let's say from 18 to 25, that's the time to rewire your brain, because there's what your parents taught you, and then from 18 years old is what the universe is going to teach you, and then you're going to decide, pick and choose, this is what I want to get into, these are the habits I want to stick into, this is what I want to do, because it's most likely going to stick. um Somebody told me, I think it's by the age of 30, nobody really gets back into the gym. I think something really drastic has to happen to you, or life changing, for you to, by the age of 30, get into the gym and stick to it for the rest of your life. I feel like it has to be a dramatic, maybe a heartbreak, or I don't know, but it has to be like a huge switch. By the age of 30, I feel like it's really hard to wake up one day and say, I'm going to go to the gym and stick to it for the rest of your life. So in your 20s, now is the time to get into whatever habits that you want to stick to for the rest of your life. Me personally, I'm struggling to get into the gym, and my excuse is that I work a lot, which is not valid, because you choose what you want to do. However, no matter how much I say, okay, I'm going to go to the gym, sometimes I don't go to the gym. It's all about, when you fall, you stand up, you try again. You fall, you stand up, you try again. You don't fall and sit down, because people are going to walk all over you. And then by the time you decide to stand up, you find that everybody's in front, and you dusting yourself up back there. So yeah. And this one is really important. Enjoy the present. You don't need to have everything figured out, but don't wait too long to plan your future. Enjoy the present. You don't need to have everything figured out, but don't wait too late to plan the future. If you decide, I'm taking a gap year, which is something that I did, don't just sit in your gap year on your bed. Sit in your gap year and think about what you're going to do with your life, but still enjoy your time as a young person, but have a plan. You don't want to 25 years into life and then you're like, oh, wait, I need to figure my life out. No. This one is so important. Someone else's success is not your failure. Somebody else accomplishing something, you guys could be the same age, maybe you finished high school at the same time, but this person has already done so much for themselves. Doesn't mean that you're a failure. It doesn't mean that you are not worthy. Okay, get that into your brain. If somebody else buys a house and you haven't bought your house yet, doesn't mean that you're not worthy of buying a house. It doesn't mean that you're not working hard enough to get yourself a house. So somebody else's success is not your failure. Be happy for them and continue to work hard for yourself. But that's why I said comparison is the killer of all things beautiful. And then the last one for today is, God's favor on you is not somebody else's failure. God favoring you does not mean that other people are lazy. It does not mean that other people are not working as hard as you are. You just got yourself this nice job and you're like, yeah, this person is lazy because this person is not employed. God's favor on you does not mean that somebody else is lazy, or that somebody else is unworthy, or that somebody else is not working as hard as you are. So don't take it for granted. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in my next one.